In studio with us today to talk about workforce and leadership training and a bit of local business development is expert Sylvia Blackmon-Roberts. Welcome, Sylvia.
Thank you, Jane. It's so nice to be with you again.
So Sylvia, with our post-pandemic and what's new in our society, in our economy, it's almost been remapped in many ways. How we do the same work to get the same results. And I think a lot of individuals in the workforce are shocked and pleased that at what they had not ever tried before in perhaps online or, using the internet or different platforms to do their daily business, at how much more they can accomplish.
And you're right about that. When the pandemic first hit, or COVID-19 first came into play, and we pretty much told everybody just go home, there were a lot of businesses, particularly small businesses, that pivot required online everything, online ordering, online sales. And so unfortunately, many of the small businesses were still just waiting for the reopening. But what I found with a lot of the larger businesses, including us here at Southeastern, we put together a task force that said that we were looking at all opportunities, all challenges. We were really doing a very quick SWOT analysis. We were looking at where our strengths were. Strengths for us, we were already, that the majority of our classes were already online. So we didn't even need to build a platform to do that. We already had a learning platform. So it was very easy to pivot and make it more robust. What we had to pivot was there were not all the faculty members were teaching online. So some were more comfortable than others pivoting to now online classes. COVID gave you an opportunity to stop and really assess and decide, do I want to keep going this way, or is there another opportunity that I can take advantage of? So, as we're looking at all of this, and the wonderful thing about my role that I get a chance to do here is that I, again, get a chance to bring in that business side of me to understand how does this work in the community and what this is going to look like while we're still trying to all navigate through this, because we're not at the end yet. We've still got a little ways to go.
Most definitely, and it's just staying in that same lane of thought for just one moment longer. One of the things that has been very obvious to all of us are the big national chains that I don't want to say use this opportunity, but it was an opportunity to rebrand, to maybe go to straight online sales and shut down their facilities that we've seen in our communities, those kinds of things. And it all gave our community a sense of panic that, oh my gosh, the big guys are going out of business. Well, the reality is they're not going out of business. It gave them the opportunity to reorganize, to be more profitable, but now we're purchasing online. They
retrained us, Jane, because we weren't doing those things. No. And so when it became your only option, and that's the kind of thing that I was saying for the small businesses, they were kind of still sitting around waiting, when were we going to open back up again? They weren't reading the tea leaves like you had these groups of people who were coming together saying, we need to figure this thing out. Yes. And everybody got sent home. And now you're seeing more and more businesses saying, I kind of like some of that. So I don't know if I'm going to bring everybody back into the office, even when we scale back up. I'm not sure if we're going to bring everybody back into the office.
It's exciting that they're coming back in with a refreshed and renewed attitude to making business work. One thing I did want to ask you about, of course, the minimum wage was just increased. And I have to imagine that is going to impact small business owners in the upcoming year. How do you feel that will impact our local business owners with the increase of minimum wage?
This is what I'm going to say to it. And rather than just thinking about the impact, I want to pivot and think about how we're going to get through it. What can I do to lessen the impact? Mm-hmm. The good thing about the way this minimum wage amendment was written is that 2021, it goes to $10. So you're looking at $1 and something more per hour. So you can cost it out. Now, when you cost it out, it may result in, like you said, a negative impact, or it could be a positive impact where you're saying, okay, if I'm going to increase the minimum wage, I may have to redo some job descriptions to put a little bit more there, to absorb some more there, to get a little bit more for my $10 per hour. The other good part about this is that those other $5 would be over $1 over each year. So you get a chance to kind of start dealing with it right now. I do know it may negative impact some people, but it also may cause some people to stretch a little bit, to look at what they're doing, thinking, oh, rather than, I don't want people to start thinking about, oh my God, I'm going to go out of business. I'm just a glass half full. My thing is, okay, here's something else. This is not the first unfunded mandate that we have gotten as businesses. Usually they come through taxes that we have
Right.
to pay, and you just got to figure it out on what can I do. And this leads to really understanding your operations and your costs, because you may have to start looking at, did I have any fluff in there, did I have anything? So I don't know. I've heard both sides. People are saying it's gonna mean I'm gonna have to lay off some people, it's gonna mean that this, but I've heard that conversation too on every increase in the minimum wage. I
Right.
don't like that we're putting a minimum wage through the Constitution, through the Florida
Right.
Constitution. I don't like that it's been put there, but since it has been put there, I think that it does give enough time for people to start addressing it. Same thing I said with COVID. You can focus on the uphill battle of it, but at least you've got a breathing room to try to figure out, how can I survive with this new mandate that I've been given.